There are countless incredible games from the PlayStation 3 era that have become increasingly difficult to access due to the console's unique and complex architecture. Unlike earlier PlayStation consoles, the PS3 system design made backward compatibility a serious challenge for Sony, which is why many of its classic titles remained locked specifically to that hardware. Currently, the only official way to play these games on the PlayStation 5 is through PS Plus premium cloud streaming services, which isn't always the ideal experience for gamers who prefer native playability. This is where studios specializing in game remasters, such as Night Dive Studios, could come into play. Night Divers built a strong reputation for bringing classic games back to life, successfully remastering titles like Turok and The Thing. According to an interview with VGC, Night Dive's boss Larry Cooperman expressed confidence that his team is ready to take on the challenge of reviving PS3 games. Studio head Stephen Kirk elaborated on this point, acknowledging that the PS3's architecture was notoriously difficult for developers to work with, even when it was first released. He pointed out that this very issue is one of the biggest obstacles in making PS3 games backward compatible. However, Kick remains optimistic, stating that if the studio were able to tackle PS3 remasters, they have the experience needed to do a serviceable job. One example that Kick specifically referenced was Haze, which was a PS3 exclusive first-person shooter developed by Free Radical Design. And while Haze was not particularly well received at launch, he explained that a remaster could allow the original designers to revisit the game and refine the elements that have held it back somewhat. This approach has already worked well for Night Dive's System Shock 2 Remastered, where the transition to newer hardware helped resolve technical issues such as frame rate inconsistencies, texture resolution, and long loading times. This raises the question, which PS3 era games deserve the remaster treatment? Many fans would love to see Sony collaborate with Night Dive Studios to revive beloved franchises like Resistance, Killzone, and Infamous, which remain trapped on the PS3 hardware. I mean, imagine the Motorstorm series, for example, which could make a triumphant return with improved visuals, enhanced gameplay mechanics, and modern performance upgrades. With demand for classic game preservation growing and remasters becoming more common, especially during the PS5 era, perhaps it's only a matter of time before we see some of these PS3 gems make their way to the PS5. And with Team Asobi having achieved wonders with Astrobot, developed by a team of only 65 people, it's certainly worth Sony giving studios like Night Dive the opportunity to collaborate on hundreds of classic PS2 and PS3 titles worthy of remasters. What do you think? What classic PlayStation games would you like to see Sony revive?